Welcome back to 101 Sports. I'm here with NHL specialists Tim Kraus and Ben Greenberg. Guys, the NHL trade down is fast approaching. Which team do you think needs to buy the most?
Well, I think the New Jersey Devils really need something here. Well, I'll tell you why. Because they lost a lot. Last year, they lost their captain, Zach Parise, and they're lucky enough to be in 7th place. Somehow, they find themselves in the playoff picture. Now let's get something to stay there.
They're not lucky to be in the playoff picture. They played darn good hockey to be in the playoff picture.
Right.
They're 7th. There are so many other teams in the NHL that have bigger needs than the Devils. Right now, the Devils would just add depth. Right now, I'm looking at the Washington Capitals, a team that wants to make it back into the playoff picture. They need offensive depth and defense. Yes, they do. But if they make a move at the deadline, which they will, you set yourself up for this year to try to come back. And if you can't, you set yourself up for next year. Washington has talent, and they're going to make a move. But I don't think the Devils, they have a very good core, and they're going to be fine.
Yes, they have a great team, except their team's getting old. I mean, let's not forget Marty Brodeur is no young guy anymore. And you're right, they've played great hockey, but they've overachieved so far. To stay there, they're going to need to add something. They're lucky to be there. Now add something to make a run at the cup.
I think if you're going to add something, you should be the Capitals, because at that point you can set yourself up for next year when you're actually going to contend, because this year was a bad year.
Look, other than Ovechkin, the Caps are not in great shape. They need something. But I just think the Devils are in a better position to make a run at the cup if they do get something.
All right, let me cut you off here, guys. Okay, so who should be the buyers and sellers before the April 3rd deadline?
Well, we just did the buyers, so for the sellers, I'm going to go with the Calgary Flames. And it seems like every year at the trade deadline, Jarome Iginla's name comes up. This is the year that they finally have to let him go. The Flames are dead last in the Western Conference. They have Iginla, who's 35. They have Kiprusoff. They have Jay Bouwmeester. They have Alex Tanguay. Get rid of these guys. You're going to rebuild. Let your captain go to a team where he can win the cup.
Look, you picked the Flames, who are at the basement of the Western Conference. It's a relatively easy one. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are at the bottom third of their conference. Look, they're not going anywhere this year, but they're the second oldest team in the NHL with an average age of 29 years old. If they sell their older players now, this gives them a chance to build chemistry for the rest of the year and then possibly compete next year.
It depends on who on the Lightning you're trying to sell. If you're not going to get rid of Vinny Lecavalier, you're not getting rid of Martin St. Louis. I think you got to keep that team together, because this is a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. They're not that bad.
Right.
I think they should be buyers. They should get a goaltender, because that's their biggest problem right now. I don't think you blow up Tampa Bay yet, Ben.
All right, guys. Now, we talked about buyers and sellers. Now let's talk about commitments. The Anaheim Ducks just signed their captain, Ryan Getzlaf, to $66 million on Friday. Now, does this mean that Corey Perry has to go?
No, definitely not. I think both of these guys are going to stay. I mean, look, Ryan Getzlaf just got a huge deal, and he publicly said to the media the other day, I want Corey Perry on my team. I can't do this alone. We have great chemistry. They want to stay together. It's a fun place to play out there in Anaheim. I think this team will be together down the road.
Absolutely. I can't agree with you more. This is a team that's right now second in the Western Conference. They have a legitimate chance to make a cup run this season. They're going to need Corey Perry. They're going to need Bobby Ryan. They're going to need Getzlaf to get there. I think they're going to keep him, even if that risks losing him in the offseason. They can always try to re-sign him.
Don't forget, Perry and Getzlaf are buddies.
Absolutely.
They play together.
They play together so well. You can't get rid of him yet.
No, definitely
You have
not.
a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Go do it.
All right, great argument, guys. We'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. Well, that's all we have time for this blog, but when we return, our NBA experts will debate the most exciting players in the league. Don't go away.